Welcome everyone to another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. Today we have a really interesting episode. It came about when someone sent us an unusual photo.
You might remember we had a fabulous guest on called Psychic Carrie. And if you'd like to see that episode, we'll include a little link here for you to take a peek at it after this episode. And Carrie, she contacted me and told me that someone she knows sent her a picture. And here's the picture here. And she wanted us to take a look at it, maybe tune in and see what kind of information we might be picking up on this, because it does look like there's a ghost in the picture. These two ladies were out at a bar. They loved the look of the bar. So they took a picture of it. And then as they scrolled in later that night, they noticed that there's this space between them. They did all their research first. They called the bartender. They had him resend both angles, the one where they're facing, taking a picture towards the bar, as well as what it looks like from the bar looking to where they are. There's a wall behind them. So people actually have to squeeze by almost to get by them. So they would have noticed if there was a woman standing there behind. They looked into it, and it definitely looks like a ghost. So, Caron, do you want to talk about what you came across when you meditated on the picture?
Yeah, so, obviously both Dawn and I are mediums. Dawn does a lot of psychic investigation, more than I do. We decided to both tune into the photo. My information that I got was that it definitely was a ghost or a discarnate spirit. This person, she was older and she crossed, so that's why she kind of came to this picture as an older person. I picked up that she had been on her home. She had a husband who had passed a lot earlier than when she passed, so she was on her own for quite a while. She was the type of person that liked to go out with her friends, and she would like to go out for a little drinking now and then. So for her to kind of join in on this, on the outing with these two girls. She wasn't really attached to them. She just kind of came in to the bar, just, I think, feeling their good energy and wanted to be part of that. And I got a name. Did you get a name?
I did. I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay. The name I got was an A name, like Anne or something like that.
So the bar that they were in called Ace.
Oh, Ace. Okay.
Yeah. So that might be the A name.
Because that's what it seemed like, a short name like Anne or whatever, right? So it could mean Ace.
Yeah. So she could have been talking about where she was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you get? What kind of information did you get when you tuned in?
The first thing that she told me, she wanted me to really know and tell those ladies in the picture that she doesn't look that bad. She really focused on the fact that she doesn't look that.
Yeah.
Well, like, she was almost embarrassed, like as if it's not the best picture. And I mean, we all have them, right? We flip through and we erase the ones where we don't look that great. Unfortunately, her photo bomb only got one picture. So she really wanted me to mention that, she doesn't look that awful or scary,
That's an interesting thing, because when you talk to discarnate beings versus spirits that have crossed over, that's something that maybe a discarnate being would tend to focus on versus someone that's crossed over, right?
Right, because when you're crossed over, it's all love and understanding, where when you're here, you still have your personality, right? You still have your ego. So that's the type of thing that would actually bother a ghost versus spirit. So
ghost would say.
Yeah, something a ghost would say. She was not attached to the girls. However, it was their energy. Especially, I picked up on the girl on the right-hand side of them actually taking the picture. I found that she was drawn to her. I thought maybe originally it was maybe cocktail or something. Yeah, it was their energy. She liked hanging out with the girls, and she just really liked them. I got the name Maggie, like Margaret or Margot. but short form for Maggie. I asked her what she did for a living. She was also a barmaid, a waitress. And she told me that this was her neighborhood. She just really likes the area, and she still likes to go out, and she's aware that she's no longer with us, but she really didn't want to cross over. Oh, I got the idea. Again, here's another personality and ego way of looking at things for a ghost, is that she wanted to make it clear that she didn't need to be a waitress. She enjoyed serving. So she had that opinion of herself as a waitress. She wanted to make sure that, you know, we explain that. She just really did like that scene. She liked, you know, the energy of socializing.
Yeah, and I got that, you know, whether she was hanging out with, you know, friends herself or whether she was at the bar, that she just wanted to make sure everyone was having a good time.
Yes. Yeah. And she was really good at that. I got that. I did speak to the woman in the photo afterwards on that, and she did have a message, but we couldn't figure out who it was for. It was for a gentleman who has a dog, and the dog is still alive. But I mean, whether she was just telling me thinking I'm listening, or I asked the women, and unfortunately it had nothing to do with them. So unfortunately it was just a message that probably won't reach who it's supposed to. But you know, I did ask her if she had anything to say to the girls, and it was more about her wanting to reach this gentleman who has a dog, and she has a message for him about the dog.
Run into him in the future.
Yeah, quite possibly too. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, that was. I really enjoyed that. And I mean, the picture itself is incredible. I know. There's no other explanation whatsoever. And I picked up that, yeah, she was in fact a ghost, and you got the same thing. All right. So we have Noreen with us right now, and Noreen's the one that took the picture of the ghost photo bomb. So thank you for joining us tonight.
My pleasure. So how it all came to be. Yeah, it was very unexpected, to say the least. We were in probably the least spooky place you could imagine. So we were in downtown Toronto at a place on Roncesvalles called the Ace. We were going to an ecstatic dance, and it got canceled. So we decided to grab a bite to eat. And to be honest, we're literally just sitting at this, you know, kind of like it's almost not really a diner style, but they had kind of redone in a very kind of hipster kind of vibe, like an old fashioned place. And it looked very cool. Like the bar was wood, and but we were just sitting talking. We were having food. There was no like eerie atmosphere. It was very bubbly and lively. There was a kind of a little pathway behind us, but there was another friend with us, and we were the group that was here, and there wasn't anything behind us, no tables. And we just were admiring the bar, and we were kind of taking pictures, and I just was snapping, and we were talking. I was just snapping a couple pictures of the bar. We finished our meal. We were driving home. We live a couple of hours from there. So we were on like in the dark in the country roads, and I was scrolling through photographs. And it was really funny because I was scrolling through, and I just saw the picture that I took of the bar. And I just kind of mentioned like, oh, look, there we are. And it was like tiny little, you'll see when you can see the photograph, the original. And I just zoomed in, and then I just went silent. And then I tried to unsee it. I tried desperately to unsee it. And I really did try very hard to explain it to myself, because I actually was not too comfortable with the proximity and the stare. It was just, that was literally, we just happened across it, like just by scrolling in. You wouldn't have seen it. If you look at the original photo, there's not any visibility of anything in the original. Someone that I knew at the time phoned the restaurant and asked them to take a picture where we were sitting. It's not really wallpaper or anything like that.
Yeah, because it is rather, it's like a gallery, right? Like it's a long bar with a narrow, like a typical Toronto bar where it's long and narrow, right?
Well, and even if somebody were behind us, that we were down low, somebody would have to crouch with our third friend sitting there and like come right up to us. And like there's just, you know, and I'm not a person that would, you know, like I said, it wasn't something that we were kind of trying to see. We were actually working very hard to to just, I went quiet for about 10 minutes. When I was just like, kept putting my phone down and looking at it, because it's kind of a game changer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had a 50-50 consensus from everyone that we met, that some was like horrifying malevolence and others were like sweet old lady. I did get out the sage and everything when I got home, and I was like, feeling a little, it was just very, very unexpected, like extremely unexpected. But
whoever followed up, did they say like there's a ghost in this picture?
so he explained, and I think he sent the photo as well.
Oh, okay.
To the person.
Okay.
Don't think there was any knowledge of anything, like anyone, no one had, it wasn't a place where people had seen things. I think they were kind of shocked and they were kind of intrigued, I think, as well. But when they took a picture of the actual wall, it's just a wall.
Yeah.
So this
All right.
is the original. I don't know if you can see.
So
That's the original, and then
Yeah.
that's our scroll in.
there. Okay.
See?
With the face behind. Yeah.
Scroll in, and that's the picture.
Oh, wow. That's a big
So
difference.
if I didn't see all I was doing at that time was literally joking and saying, look, there we are. Like I just was doing a little like scroll through the pictures from the night, and then just happened to make it bigger, and then saw that.
To me, I think there's a reason that, because not everyone would have done that. Not everyone would have seen that.
And that's kind of, we were wondering. Yeah, we kind of thought, like, what made you like she looks like in the photograph, to me anyway, she looks like she's like directly in eye contact. Like she's not kind of floating off and like, oh, look at that. She's looking directly at the mirror and almost like directly at us. There's a very, very much a present, focused photobomb. Like it's
totally a photobomb.
Yeah. Like I feel that whoever that was very aware. It almost felt like she was aware that we were also going to see it.
Yes, I agree totally.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because I wouldn't normally do that kind of thing. I wouldn't be, you saw the picture, it's kind of nondescript and there was 100 pictures of us. So I don't know why I was just like, oh, look. And I just made it bigger. And then I
wished you had.
I wished I hadn't at first, to be honest. It was that picture is very striking.
Yeah.
So
we work with spirits a lot, and they often put the thinking in your mind they draw your attention to things like that. So
I wonder why she cared though, because we don't have a connection with her or know her. But maybe she knew maybe this was just the path to YouTube infamy.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think, as Caron alluded earlier, like we both tuned into her and she loves socializing and she was definitely drawn to you guys. So I think it had everything to do with your energy. I know that you were concerned originally whether or not she came home with you or she was an attachment, which she wasn't, but I think she was just really enjoying like your vibe.
Because I thought to myself, oh, please don't be this my beginning of my poltergeist life or whatever. Like, please. Because at that moment, it was only like an hour fresh. So I was like, what if it's a bad thing? Like, she doesn't look so like friendly.
No. And as she said, not her best picture.
Yeah. And that kind of like, I've never been one that's like looking for these. So it was there. I don't, there wasn't really a story behind it. It's just, that was it.
You reached out to Carrie.
Well, she's a training client of mine. She was training with me. I think we were talking about her abilities and just kind of that came out in conversation. She was telling me a few things. My mom passed, so she just picked up a couple, and we started to kind of talk, how it goes down that rabbit hole a little bit. And then I just said, do you want to see my ghost picture? And I think she was expecting, how people say my ghost picture and they show you a picture and it's got like a white orb or something.
Yes, yeah.
We're just going to take a moment to pause the episode for a moment and discuss orbs. For those of you new to ghosts or esoteric topics, an orb is a transparent ball of light that is often found in videos and photographs. We believe these balls of light energy are connected to spirit. Do you have a photograph where you have a ball of white light that appears? It could be a loved one, or, like in the case of my picture, we were at a haunted bar. So now you know a little bit about orbs. Let's return to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah. And then she saw it, and you could see her face just kind of went, and she said, I have to show this to my friend. So I'm assuming that's one of you guys. I don't know.
Okay, and then that's how we ended up with the picture, which
Yeah.
oh, I just love that picture.
Yeah.
We did follow up with the restaurant. They are I think they're under renovations for sure. I could not get in touch with anyone at this time. I sent them an email. I explained even the message that, you know, they wanted, that she kind of had this message for a guy with a dog. But one thing that was confirmed is I had said I'd seen like an apartment upstairs. So there's an actual apartment upstairs. I'm just hoping that we can get to the bottom of it and find out if either the guy that she was referring to is a bartender or the owner or the person living upstairs. So I'm hoping we'll still get some information on that, especially once things open up.
Dawn and I tuned in to this person independently, and we both feel like it's a light-hearted spirit. I don't think there's anything you have to worry about, just to put your mind at ease. I think it was just the right place at the right time and the right energy. And what I think it tells us is that there's spirits like this all around us. And and that's just something that people aren't aware of too much, and it's unusual to have the proof that you have. But that's why we wanted to, you know, bring it to our viewers. It's just to show them there's more out there than meets the eye.
In terms of like an energetic person, I live in a renovated church, like an old church, and
wow.
I can tell when things are moving around. And so I knew after a couple of days, I was like, there's nothing nothing here. Yeah. So that was a good thing.
And to let people know that most of the time it isn't something to worry about.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time it's just, you know, there's a lot of earthbound spirits that are around, and a lot of times they just like to, you know, hang around and live vicariously through us. So there's different reasons why people don't cross when they transition. I think, Dawn, you tuned into the fact that she's very attached to her neighborhood and her people and that sort of thing. And that's a very common reason why people don't cross over, is they're attached to their space or their house or their place of work. And it seems like a little thing, you know, why would that prevent someone from crossing over? But it's very common.
So thank you so much, Noreen, for taking the time to tell us your story about the super cool ghost photo bomb. But thank you so much for taking this time to tell us how it came about.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for all the info too. I mean, it helps to have some of those kind of questions answered. So yeah.
Hopefully we'll get more answers too. I hope you enjoyed watching us go over this picture. We'll post it again so you can get a nice little peek. And
if you do tune in, you know, add some comments, you know, below and let us know what you got.
Thanks again. And remember to like it and subscribe if you want to see more episodes like this.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank
Take care, everyone.